If you'd like to see how I made putting fuel in my Bobcat a whole lot easier, stick around. We'll help you get a handle on things. I'm almost out of fuel again. That's no good. At times like this, I just hate having a Bobcat. Now, it doesn't matter which model of Bobcat you have. This happens to be an 863 and it's a diesel machine. But one thing seems to be consistent throughout the entire Bobcat line is that they put the fuel fillers in a really awful place if you have to fill your machine with a fuel can. Let me show you what I mean. The fuel tank on this machine is located under the lift arm and over the tire. It's in a very awkward position if you have to lift up a 40-pound can of fuel and dump it into that tank without spilling any. Even if you're able to do that, lifting it high enough to drain that tank is very awkward as well. You'd think that using a funnel might make things easier, but if you put a flexible funnel into the gas tank, as soon as you start pouring fuel into there, the funnel dips down and spills fuel all over the place. It makes this a real pain to fuel. After a couple of years of putting up with this problem, every time I have to fuel the machine, I'm getting pretty sick of it. I've got an idea. My idea was pretty straightforward. A simple hoop to hold my funnel while I poured my fuel, attached to a magnet that I could stick to the Bobcat to hold everything in place. Now this should make things a whole lot easier when I have to fuel this thing. I'll stick the funnel through the ring into the fuel tank, and then I'll attach this 90-pound pole magnet onto the lift arm of the machine. That ain't going anywhere. If you're wondering about my fancy funnel, I just took a transmission fluid funnel with the flex and I added on a piece of hose. In order to keep it on there, I took a flare tool and I just slightly flared the bottom of this transmission funnel so that that hose won't slip off and wind up a permanent resident in my fuel tank. That's a pretty strong magnet too. This windshield washer bottle's got about 7 pounds of fluid in it, and that magnet has no problem holding that up. Now if you'd like to see how I made this, that's coming up next. But if you'd like to buy one, head on over to eBay and look for a magnetic funnel ring. I'll make them available there. And while you're here, do me a favor, will you? Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe and leave me a comment. Let me know whether you think this is a good idea or not. Thanks. I whipped up a quick design in Fusion 360 and then we went to the Crossfire plasma table from Langmuir Systems in the shop. This thing's really a game changer for projects like this. Looks like it cut that part perfectly. There's just a little bit of dross left behind to clean up on the belt grinder. Not bad at all. I tossed on my safety glasses, and in just a couple of minutes on the 2x72 belt grinder, this thing was looking perfect. This part is made out of 3/16 steel plate, so I designed it with a fold line so that I could bend it easily, and I had to drill a hole so that I could attach it to the magnet as well. I'll clean it up with a little bit of acetone prior to painting. I like to use Rust Reformer spray paint on a lot of my projects. It does a good job, it sticks well, and flat black is just fine by me. I found this 90-pound pole magnet for about 10 bucks at Menards. It just has to get bolted onto the hoop and we're in business. I do prefer to use nylock nuts. It keeps them from loosening up on me over time. Make sure you crank this thing down really tight. You don't want it turning on that magnet. And there it is. Simple and works like a charm. Thanks a bunch for watching. We'll see you on the next video.